Hey everyone, welcome back to Glass Seats. This is Viddy.
And my name is Mrinal. And in this episode, as we build to the next hockey season here, we got to talk about rule changes.
Yeah.
So every year there's adjustments to the rules based off things that went wrong or went well in the last season. Mm-hmm. So we have 5 rule changes to talk about here. We'll go through them really quick. Just give some quick discussion on each one as well.
Yeah, some initial reactions too. I'm seeing some of these for the first time.
All right.
Or reading some of these for the first time.
So first off, if a puck goes over the glass and is assessed a delay of game penalty, the coach can now challenge if the puck touched the glass.
I like it.
So
I like it.
If you don't know, the original rule is if you're the defending team and you dump the puck and it goes over the glass, that's a 2-minute delay of game, unless it reflects off something.
Yeah.
So there could be a situation where it's going over, but it just like nicks the glass, right? By the letter of the law, that is not a penalty.
Yeah.
There have been times where the refs have said it's a penalty, but the slow-mo replay says it's not, and it wasn't reviewable. It is now reviewable, so the coach can challenge.
Yeah.
If the challenge fails, the minor you would have been assessed turns into a double minor.
Yeah, I'm all for this. I love plays that are risky, but can reward you very well, especially something like this. Most of the time when you see a puck over glass thing, it's near the end of a game. Maybe the other team's got their goalie pulled.
Yeah.
Desperation move. Remember like when Mitch Marner like sent it over the glass against Montreal, and that kind of changed like having this rule now, like, I don't know. It was close. So, like, this could have been crucial.
The other situation that shows up is when you're on the penalty kill and you're trying to dump it out.
Yeah.
And suddenly you miss, and now you're 5-on-3.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially in the playoffs. That's killer, right? Like, it just, I think this is a good move. And I like the fact that there is a double minor penalty. If you screw up, because honestly, like just looking for like that little 1 inch of the puck hitting, that does take time, right? Like, so, so the double minor, like it kind of makes sense. I like this a lot, actually.
I'll play devil's advocate here. Do you think it'll slow down the pace of the game if coaches are challenging for this now?
Yes, but I think it would be an intense. Everyone's like looking, like doing this at the computer screen. You know what I mean? Like everyone's like really intently like looking at for
like
that puck to hit.
People said that about when they introduced challenge for offsides, but now everyone's like, whenever the coach challenges for offsides, they're like, oh, we got to like sit through the replays now.
Yeah.
I just hope the NHL gets quicker with them. But you don't need to take as long as they do.
I don't know, man. Those little breaks of drama with the anticipation, I think it actually is good for the game.
You're fine with it.
I'm fine with it. It's a little bit of extra flair, but especially what I've noticed for new fans of the game, because they're so used to whatever it is, football and all the other things that you can challenge. It kind of brings that similarity to the sport, and like they're almost suddenly a lot more engaged into the game now. I think it's good for actually growing the game.
Yeah, I will say, having rule clarity is great.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I mean,
which the NHL is garbage about.
Exactly. How many times have we bitched about it on this show? Like, I think this is a good thing.
Cool. Next rule here: if the net is dislodged by a defending player, the defense cannot make a line change.
Yeah.
So if you are hemmed in your zone and to stop play, you knock the net off accidentally. Mm-hmm. You're not allowed to make a line change.
Yeah.
So just like they did for icing a few years ago, more than a few now, this is the rule so that you cannot get tired players off the ice in that way.
Is this also apply, like when they say defending player, does that also apply to like just the goalie in the net?
Yeah,
like, if he like kicks off the
I think
net?
Defending player means the team that's in the defensive zone. Any of the 5, any of the 6.
Okay, yeah. So it can be the goalie too. Because I was like, I mean, it's funny that the Henrik jersey's up here because I'm pretty sure there was a time where he pushed off like the net, right? Like it was just some bullshit was happening. But yeah, I like it. I see the merit in this. I think this is a good rule. I haven't truthfully seen too many dislodged nets. The most nets I've seen dislodged were honestly the offense coming in hot.
Yeah.
And so like,
which doesn't matter.
Yeah. So like, I guess if you're trying to cheat the system, then maybe this is a good.
I've seen a few plays where the forward is circling the net and the defenseman's chasing him. And as he rounds the corner, the defenseman just cross-checks the net a little bit. I've seen a few plays.
So okay, let's take a theoretical here. Let's say there's just a scrappy battle. Like goalie thinks he has the puck, the body's in front of the net.
Yeah.
And then just defense body checks an offense into the net comes off.
Yeah.
What happens in that situation?
I think that would count as defense dislodging the net.
Oh, would it? Even though it's the offense hitting the net?
Let's say I shouldn't put my faith in NHL refs interpreting rules, but I would interpret that as, that counts as defense dislodging that, no line change.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Let's see. Let's see how this actually plays out. in theory, I think this is a good rule.
Yeah, but this basically makes it that so if the defense is hemmed in and you want to get a line change, you either have to carry the puck to center and get it out, or your goalie has to make a save.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, good.
I think that's a good thing. Yeah. In theory, this is good.
Cool. Next rule here. Teams will be assessed a bench minor if players are sitting on the boards with their skates facing the ice. So if they're sitting on the boards and facing the bench, no problem. But if you're waiting for a line change, you now cannot be sitting on the boards, basically.
If you're waiting for a line change.
Because this is what the situation, right? When they're waiting for a line change, they'll sit on the boards, and as soon as the player comes in, they'll hop down, right? So that's what they used to do. And last year, a linesman got cut by a skate because they were going back and forth along the bench. So now they've changed the rule to say you cannot be sitting on the bench, sitting on the boards. You have to be waiting inside the bench before your line change.
I think of the rules so far we've listed, this is the one I don't like. I think this actually, you were talking about slowing down the pace of the game. I think this does slightly slow down the pace of the game.
What about the linesman getting injured?
Come on, it's 2024 and we don't have like AI helping with refs and stuff. And like, do we need them like for every little
get rid
thing?
of the linesman entirely.
Honestly, like they're flipping a coin for calls half the time. Like,
they dropped the puck for face-off.
Okay, well, all right. So he could have been out of the way, is what you're saying.
You're saying drop the puck, get off the ice.
I was like, I'm not victim blaming, but I'm a little bit victim blaming. I was like, because hockey's a fast game. Like, obviously, you can't, as a linesman, you can't like notice where everything's happening all the time. But I don't. If this is the reason why we're putting in this rule, I don't know if it's a good idea. I think it does break the flow.
I just hope they would change rules as quickly when players got hurt.
Yeah. Like we're doing this for linesmen, but like when Brock Besser like hurt his back on like the door or whatever, nothing, right? Changed. It's not that I don't like feel empathy for this linesman getting cut, but like,
okay, you got cut once, bro.
Yeah, it was once, and it was a cut, and it was low key your fault. Like you were in the way. Like I hate to say it, but you were in the way. Like whether you meant to be or not. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of this rule. Pass if possible.
Okay. But all right. One that has to do with icing. Both teams get a warning for a face-off violation after icing.
So what does that actually mean? Face-off violation? Like
face-offs are interpreted very loosely in the NHL.
Yeah.
Right. That if you read the actual rule book, the refs barely follow it. Right.
Okay.
Face-offs are like the worst for this.
Okay.
But essentially what happens is if you violate on the face-off, like you jump the start or you put your stick in the wrong place or whatever, you get one warning and then you're supposed to be kicked out.
Okay.
Or I think you're also assessed a delay. You could be assessed a delay a game penalty, right? So I think what teams have started doing since last year is after icing, because you're not allowed to change, the defending centerman would purposely mess up a couple times to get the rest of his team a few more seconds to catch their breath.
Okay.
So now they're going to be essentially stricter on this. And if you do that, then you're going to get a penalty.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that I know that context, I think I actually am in support of this rule. I had no idea that was actually a strategy to get your guys a little bit extra oxygen.
They'll do everything. Do you remember when they first implemented the rule of the no line change after icing?
Yeah.
What they would do that first season is as soon as they ice it, the entire team would jump off the bench onto the ice.
What? Really?
Yeah. It happened for one season. So it was like you'd have 12 skaters on the ice, and then the linesman or the ref would have to come up and point out which actual 5 players are supposed to be on the ice.
Oh, just to make it harder?
Yeah. And during that confusion, they would all catch their breath.
Oh my God. Wow. What a strategy.
So the season after that, they implemented the rule that if anyone comes on the ice after the icing, it's a delay of game penalty.
Yeah. I think they also got rid of like TV or push TV timeouts after an icing. They're like, if there's an icing, the TV timeout can wait kind of thing.
Yes. Yeah. So no TV timeout allowed after icing.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow. No, I had no idea.
So the NHL is really pushing this, like punishing on the icing. Because I think they really want to keep that play going, right?
Yeah.
The fact that you can't just dump it. Like an icing previously wasn't that bad of a punishment.
No, it was just like cop out kind of thing. Yeah.
They're trying to make it as bad as you can without making it a penalty.
Yeah.
Because the penalty's going a little too far, I think.
It is a little bit, yeah.
Because that's like you miss a pass, you get a penalty.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
that's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy.
So they're really finding ways to push on the reducing the icings here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now that with all that context, I'm in support of this rule. Actually, like if we're gonna push the pace the same way I just said about the bench minor players on the boards, like let's keep the pace going. Yeah. I'm good with this.
All right. Last rule change for the year. replacement for injured goalies are allowed a warm-up period. So if your goalie gets injured and the backup comes in, the backup is now allowed to take warm-ups.
Don't they already do that though? Like, doesn't the backup go on the ice at the beginning of the game?
Yes, but now you're allowed to warm up like in the middle of the game.
Oh,
like for example, let's say your goalie gets injured in the second period.
Mm-hmm.
Before play resumes, the backup is allowed to take shots as a warm up.
I see.
So they're just going to cut to like TV timeout while he does that.
Got it. Is that for only injured goalies, or is that just for goalies that are sucking?
It's only for injured goalies.
Okay.
The reason why, because historically they allowed teams to for any goalie swap.
Mm-hmm.
So what would happen is if a team is getting hemmed in the zone or losing momentum, a coach would pull his goalie under the guise of, okay, he's sucking, to let the other guy warm up. As soon as he's done warming out, put back the OG goalie.
Really?
Yeah, just to throw off the momentum of the attacking team.
Huh. Okay. Did not know that.
Now it says only if they're injured,
Okay.
you're allowed it. And the whole point is to cut down on injuries because playing a cold goalie means they're more likely to get injured.
Right.
So cutting down on the injury of the backup, this is the compromise.
I don't know if I do or don't like this rule. I'm kind of conflicted. I like it because, yeah, obviously injured goalie is not a good thing. I don't like it because this also breaks the flow of the game.
But I mean, it's an injured, right? If it's for cutting down player injuries.
Yeah. So that's why I'm like conflicted. I'm like, if the intent is to keep the game fast, this doesn't help. But if we're also trying to keep the game safe, this helps a lot. So I'm like,
we've established you don't give a shit about the linesman. For the goalies, I think you can make an exception.
Of course. The reason I don't give a shit about the linesman is because they get away with the wildest stuff with no consequences.
Yeah.
And like all of a sudden, it took again a player dying before net guards became a thing, and guy gets a skate cut because he was in the wrong place, wrong time, and now there's a rule made. Like, it's just what? Like, okay, yeah. So, yeah, I'm 50-50 on this rule, but actually, no, I'm 75-25 because it's better to not have an injured goalie than to like.
And if you're just going to use it for the TV timeout, then
you think it's going to make more TV timeouts?
No, because I think there's contracts on how many times it can stop the period.
Okay.
So just one of the TV timeouts will just become that one.
Got it. Okay.
So it'll be one less stoppage to the end of the period, I think.
Yeah, because I imagine just like a whole bunch of like forwards just hopping on the ice and like sending pucks at this guy or something. Like,
that's what he's getting.
Okay. So, but like it's just funny to see that in the middle of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd rather that than an injured backup. Right?
Yeah, for
Especially
sure.
when backup's like a young kid trying to build his career and gets a groin injury. It's like gonna suck.
That's brutal. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 75-25. I'll put it there. Yeah.
Should be interesting, but hope you're more well informed of the rules for next season.
Let's see how strictly they're actually enforced.
They're going to be really strictly enforced in the preseason, and no one's going to give a shit by April. Let us know your thoughts on these rule changes in the comments below. If you like this video, drop a like. Hit subscribe if you want more of Glass Seats. We got 3 episodes out every week. And if you want even more, we're on Instagram. @Glass Seats Show is the handle. See you next episode.
Bye.